So I went to school for engineering, and I'm a registered professional engineer. I spent about 38 years with ExxonMobil, tramping across the world, sometimes with my family in tow. I retired about 7 years ago and decided to, like a lot of people who are retiring, what am I going to do? In addition to working on different charities, I stumbled upon this art school in Great Falls right under my nose and decided to take an oil painting class. Took a couple more. The first time you go in there, you're a little bit uptight. You've never touched a brush in your life. There's other people in the class that have been doing this a long time, but you got to go in there and just let your juices flow and be creative. And I had people come to my studio tours and they paint on the canvas, and you can tell that they're having a good time. They're liking this whole experience of creating things. It's a great segue for the school because you go like, hey, you might enjoy taking some classes. And what you invariably find is so many people are kind of what I call latent artists. There are latent creative people. And they have a lot of talent, but they just haven't developed them, or they're embarrassed, or they don't want to show other people because they don't think their work is up to scratch. In reality, they can make some pretty good stuff, and all different kinds of medias.
What do you think is kind of the crossover point? When, as an artist, do you think you start to own it? Do you think it's with a number of hours or a number of canvases? Or is it, like for you, when did you start to say, hey, I'm an artist and I'm doing something unique?
I think one awakening for me was I was taking a plein air class down in Old Town, and there's like 35 people in the class, and we all have a little instruction, and then we paint for a couple hours, and then everybody shows their finished product. And, you get up there and your little plein air is next to 35 other people's plein air. And you start looking and going, wow, well, mine's not bad. And, all the paintings have something good in them. And you start to say to yourself, wow, I like doing this. It's fun. I'm maybe not replicating what I see with my eye, but I like the product. I like the composition. I like the color schemes. And other people are commenting in a positive fashion. So maybe there's something to do here.
Yeah.
I would say that was, one of the crossovers for me from purely being a student to saying, okay, I'm going to sell some of my products. Yeah. I'm going to display in public. And I'm just a prolific painter. I just like to paint a lot. But, you can only build so much inventory. You got to get some out the door.
Yes, that's the big conundrum, isn't it? It's having enough room for everything, but still creating and not necessarily painting over all your same old canvases either, because it's nice to see the progression. I have one painting myself that I go, I want to fix it up. But I said, no, I painted that in that time, and that's what represented me right then and there. And so I have to leave it alone. And it's nice to have those pieces, right? That you can look over the years and you can say, yes, this is you can see the visual journey.
And I've had people like this weekend come and say, oh, Tom, your work is getting better, it's changing. And then you kind of think back and you go, oh, was my work bad before? I find my work's evolving. If you looked around my studio, you may have a hard time telling that the same artist produced all those paintings, particularly if you have some older ones and you look backwards. What is really good to see, though, is like I kind of do themes. A few years ago, I did these autumn scenes here.
Right.
And then I did what I called Mystic Forest, which is right behind me. And then this year, I got onto a big Japanese bamboo kick.
Right.
And I started painting everything Japanese. What's nice to see is that people came in to this show and they said, hey, you had these really beautiful aspen pictures last year. I want to get one. I'm like, oops, I only have one left. I sold the rest of them. And the one you have left is more likely than not the one you like the least.
Yeah.
What's heartening is that you can tell somebody that series is almost gone. And you hope you don't get to a series that nobody buys anything from.